Have you ever felt sad or down and not known why, or wanted to hole yourself away in your bedroom or apartment and not want to be around people, including loved ones? Then you might have experienced depression. Depression, defined by Christian Nordquist, is a mental disorder that undermines people's ability to function well, as published in his article titled "Depression Affects 350 million people worldwide," published in 2012 in Medical News Today. Depression can affect anybody at any time and for many reasons. It can ruin people's lives and sometimes cause people to take their own lives. I have previously suffered from depression and currently suffer from mild forms of seasonal depression, which I'll touch on a little bit later. Right now I want to share with you who depression affects, the causes of it, and how to overcome it. Depression can affect anyone, but some are more likely than others to suffer. This graph is from an article titled "Depression in the United States Household Population 2005 to 2006. It shows the percentage of persons 12 years and older with depression by demographic characteristics in the United States in 2005 to 2006. The same article reported that 1 in 20 Americans suffered from depression, and in a 2-week period, anywhere from 5.4% of Americans alone experienced depression. Now this graph shows the rates were higher in 2005 through 2006 for 40 to 59-year-old women, 40 to 59-year-olds women, and non-Hispanic Black people. But these are numbers. What if I said Abraham Lincoln, Florence Nightingale, or Winston Churchill? Could you imagine they were all sufferers of depression as well? In A Curse and a Blessing by Jerome Carson and Elizabeth Wakely, it's discussed how these 3 people lived lives suffering from depression, but still made an impact on the world. So it just tells you that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Now you may be wondering, can depression affect you? And it is a possibility. So now I'm going to go over causes with you. In an article on WebMD titled "Recognizing and Treating Depression" in 2012, it states that genetics, gender, and age are 3 common factors that can lead to depression, and they're all out of our control. For example, if your mother or grandmother suffer from depression, you are more likely to suffer from depression as well. And sorry ladies, but women are more likely than men to suffer from depression. The article also states that health, such as cancer, trauma and grief, such as loss, stress, medication, and sometimes substances such as alcohol are also common causes for depression. Some other causes are anxiety, low self-confidence, and low self-esteem. And that brings me to seasonal depression, which is what I suffer from. And it's linked to weather. So basically in the winter, when I suffer from it, it's due to lack of sunlight, the shorter days, and the colder weather. Martin Downs, MPH, wrote in Winter Darkness and Seasonal Depression in 2009 that seasonal depression is tied to lack of sunlight, and that bright lights during certain parts of the day, namely when you wake up in the morning, can help overcome the depression. Now I've told you the who's and whys of depression. Let's move on to help. It can be tough coming back from depression, but you can do it without medication. I personally say one of the biggest parts of overcoming depression is family and friends or a support group. In Dealing with Depression by Melinda Smith on helpguide.org, she states that if you take care of yourself, you can also find a way back from depression. For example, eating a healthy diet or exercising. And exercising can be simply just taking your dog for a walk, or taking the stairs instead of the elevator, or parking in the back of the parking lot as opposed to the front. Other ways you can fight depression are by challenging the negative thoughts. And if you've ever suffered from depression, you know that the negative thoughts are very common, and that it's very hard to try to stay positive with this. So challenging those is going to help you. And last but not least, know when to seek help. Sometimes none of these are going to help you, and you just need to go seek professional help. You now know who depression can affect, the causes of it, and how to overcome it. Depression can be hard to overcome. It can leave you feeling hopeless, and it can be painful wanting to be normal or happy again. It's kind of like being in a big dark hole, all alone, no lights, no way out, but there is a way out.